Welcome, horror lovers. If you thought haunted houses and possessed dolls were scary, wait until you enter the Further, a dark spiritual realm where vengeful spirits don't just haunt places, they haunt people until their very last breath. Insidious isn't your typical horror franchise. Oh no, they definitely take it up a notch. Since its debut in 2010, it's inspired new dimensions of terror with upside-down worlds and cursed families, leaving fans spooked and loyal for over a decade. Now, with 4 films and divided opinions on recent sequels, it's time for a fresh and fearsome new chapter in the Insidious saga. And that's exactly what we're bringing you in this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into the dark realm of Insidious 5. The Insidious movies are known for their constant and intense action, leaving no room for slow building fear. Instead, they rely heavily on jump scares, which can happen at any moment. The spirits and demons in these movies are not just spooky presences, but they actively attack their victims and often take physical form. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, which adds to the frightening atmosphere. Each movie follows a standard formula, where an entity takes someone's astral body to another realm, and the character Elise, played by Lynn Shay, must rescue them. Elise is a crucial character throughout the series, even after her death, as seen in Insidious Chapter 2. After a long 5-year wait, fans of the Insidious franchise will finally get their fix with the upcoming release of Insidious: The Red Door this summer. And this time around, the film marks the directional debut of actor Patrick Wilson and features a cast that viewers will recognize from previous installments. We know you're all eagerly awaiting the return of the franchise, and we've rounded up everything we know so far about the new movie. Let's start with the plot of the movie. Thankfully, the franchise is bringing back the original cast who started it all. Patrick Wilson returns as Josh Lambert, along with Ty Simpkins as his now college-age son Dalton, for one last terrifying journey into the depths of the Further. But this time, the stakes are higher than ever before. To finally put their demons to rest, Josh and Dalton must confront the dark secrets of their family's past, delving deeper into the shadowy realm, beyond the Red Door. But the horrors that await them are more terrifying than they've ever faced before. With a cast of familiar faces, and a story that promises to be the most terrifying of them all, Insidious: The Red Door is sure to leave audiences trembling in fear. This time around, we'll be revisiting the past of one of the franchise's most iconic characters, Dalton Lambert. The young boy who was at the center of the first 2 films will be facing his demons once again as his past comes back to haunt him. As with previous chapters, we can expect that someone will be making the perilous journey into the Further to save a soul. With the return of Patrick Wilson and Ty Simpkins as Josh and Dalton Lambert respectively, we can rest assured that we're in for a wild ride. The franchise has never shied away from exploring the darkest corners of the supernatural world, and we can expect nothing less in this final chapter. Now, we know you may have been expecting the upcoming film to be called Fear the Dark, but it turns out that the title has been changed to The Red Door. The switch was made in March 2023, and it has left fans wondering what this new title could mean for the franchise's final chapter. The Red Door will hit theaters on July 7, 2023, which will also be the same day that Lionsgate's R-rated comedy Joyride opens. With several big-budget movies slated for release next summer, it's going to be a nail-biting race to see which film dominates the box office. However, Insidious seems to be poised to recapture its previous glory with a return to its original story, setting the stage for another smash hit in the horror genre. The movie will be released exclusively in theaters. Now, we know you may be wondering when and where you can stream the movie. There's currently no confirmation on streaming dates or platforms. However, the film's distributor, Screen Gems, is a subsidiary of Sony Pictures, which has a deal with Netflix. This means there's a good chance that the movie will be available for streaming on Netflix later in the year, perhaps towards the end of 2023. Next, let's talk about who's making this final chapter. Patrick Wilson, who has starred in previous Insidious films, is not only returning to the franchise for The Red Door, but he is also making his directional debut in the film. Despite being his first time directing a feature-length movie, Wilson has received support and encouragement from industry heavyweights such as Jason Blum and James Wan. Blum and Wan, who have produced previous Insidious films, are also producers for The Red Door, along with Oren Peli and Leigh Whannell, who co-created and co-wrote the franchise. The screenplay for the film was written by Scott Teems, who previously worked on the highly anticipated horror movie Halloween Kills from a story by Whannell. With such a talented crew and experienced production company like Blumhouse, which has delivered spine-chilling hits like The Purge, Paranormal Activity, and Get Out, it seems highly unlikely that The Red Door will miss the mark. You can definitely expect an experienced and skillful team working behind the scenes to create another terrifying and memorable installment. Patrick Wilson did tease some details about how this chapter will connect to the first two movies. He explained that returning to the story and characters 10 years later offers a unique opportunity to explore the impact of their hypnotism on their family and relationships. He also hinted at the challenges that Dalton may face as a college student with the ability to project himself astrally. His comments suggest that Insidious: The Red Door will explore the aftermath of the events in the first two films, particularly how the family members have coped with their experiences in the further. Specifically, Wilson mentioned the character of Dalton, who was a child in the first two films and now appears to be a young adult attending college. The film may explore how his abilities as an astral projector and traveler have affected his life, and how his relationships with his family members have been impacted by their shared experiences in the further. And yes, the demons from the previous film will also make a return in The Red Door, especially considering the connection to the first two movies that Patrick Wilson hinted at in his comments. The Bride in Black and Lipstick-Faced Demon are iconic and memorable villains in the franchise, and their reappearance could add a nostalgic element to the film. Additionally, the fact that Josh and Dalton had their memories suppressed at the end of Chapter 2 could create interesting plot points and character development as they face their past traumas once again. Finally, here's a rundown of all the previous Insidious movies to catch you up to speed. In the first Insidious, we meet the Lambert family, who just moved into a new home. Everything seems normal at first, but soon strange things start happening. Their son, Dalton, falls into a coma, and it's up to his parents and a team of paranormal investigators to figure out what's going on. And boy, do they find out. The further, demons, and ghosts, gosh. This movie will definitely make you think twice about living in a haunted house. Moving on, Insidious Chapter 2 picks up right where the first film left off, and things are even spookier this time around. The Lambert family is now living with Josh's mother, and as they try to move on from their previous ordeal, they start to realize their problems are far from over. They get a deeper look into the past of Josh and his connection to the further, and let's just say it's not pretty. With more jump scares and plot twists, this movie will keep you on the edge of your seat. Now for Insidious Chapter 3. In the third installment, we get to see the backstory of Elise Rayner, the psychic medium who helped the Lamberts in the previous films. This time around, she's called to help a teenage girl, Quinn, who's being terrorized by a demonic entity. Elise must confront her own fears and the demons from her past in order to help Quinn. With a new set of characters and a different storyline, this movie still manages to stay true to the Insidious universe. Finally, Insidious: The Last Key is a prequel to the franchise, and it's all about Elise revisiting her traumatic childhood. We learn more about her family's dealings with the supernatural and how it has affected her. This movie ties into the first Insidious film, and we get to see the events leading up to Dalton's coma. It's a full circle moment for fans of the franchise, and it definitely delivers the scares. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Insidious 5 will be worth the wait? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.